that the charge sheet lacked detailed reference times and dates of the alleged crimes committed by Omotoso. Daubermann referred to the testimony of the first witness in the matter, Cheryl Zondi, where she detailed that she was allegedly raped by Omotoso over several nights in Umhlanga. Zondi's testified in the initial trial that it took place over a period of 4 to 6 weeks. Daubermann told the court that he produced plane tickets and confronted Zondi by stating that Omotoso was not in the country at the time when he allegedly sexually assaulted her. Daubermann told the court that Zondi conceded and confirmed Omotoso was not in the country. He added that the state has not said it doesn't have the particulars on the charge sheet, but is merely refusing to furnish them. He told Judge Irma Skuman that the charge sheet was poorly drafted with vague time references of allegations. Judge Skuman asked the defence if Zondi's testimony would be used in the new trial as they're starting de novo. Daubermann told the court he was making examples of the charge sheet, not having sufficient particulars to juxtapose it with the severity of the allegations made by the complainants, which include rape and human trafficking. The trial continues. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter, Jayed-Leigh Paulse, who's standing by for us. Jayed-Leigh, what's the latest where you are?
While Nompu Court has just adjourned, we heard Judge Irma Skuman saying that it will resume tomorrow at 2 o'clock, where she will give judgments with regards to the defence's application to compel the state to provide more particulars. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow. The better part of the morning was spent by the defense arguing the fact that they were not supplied with sufficient information on the indictment as well as the charge sheet. We also saw Daubermann backtracking a bit there and going back to Cheryl Zondi's testimony, where he tried to find discrepancies within her testimony, saying that she had said that she was sexually abused, sexually assaulted by Timothy Omotoso during certain time frames, but that the state had not provided exact dates, exact times of this, and also saying that it makes it very difficult for the defense to actually come up with an alibi with regards to Timothy Omotoso. I mean, during that period that Cheryl Zondi said she was sexually abused in Umhlanga, it was in fact that Timothy Omotoso was overseas at the time. Natasha is just showing you the different political parties that are outside the Port Elizabeth High Court. We had the ANC Women's League rallying behind the alleged victims of Timothy Omotoso, but equally we also saw the Democratic Alliance also coming out in their numbers and showing their support for victims, as well as first witness Cheryl Zondi. Now, it remains to be seen when exactly the witnesses will be called. I suppose once they get past this urgent application by the defense to compel the state to furnish them with further particulars on the indictment, then we will see witnesses being called to the stand. What was also very interesting was during Daubermann's arguments this morning, he made a lot of reference to first witness Cheryl Zondi's testimony, and we saw Judge Irma Skuman also asking the defense why they keep repeating Cheryl Zondi's testimony, seeing that this trial is de novo, it will start from the beginning. And Daubermann saying there that no, he was merely making examples of the inconsistencies with regards to what was said in the previous trial rather, and wants to iron that out before moving on to witnesses. So tomorrow we expect Judge Irma Skuman to give her verdict or her judgment rather with regards to whether she will give the state, give the defense rather the compelling affidavits, whether the defense will get that from the state and whether they'll be able to move on from there. We do know that Daubermann also has said that this is not out of reach. They merely just want more particulars with regards to the time that these allegations took place in Umhlanga with Cheryl Zondi as well as other witnesses who had given their dockets through to the police, but also the time references and the exact places, because there were a lot of inconsistencies with the first witness Cheryl Zondi's testimony. Nompu.
Jayed-Leigh, when you started talking to us, it was quite calm in the background. There seems to have been an eruption of noise. Are you able to see what has just transpired behind you? And just additionally as well, Cheryl Zondi, because it is de novo, is going to be starting anew. Does that mean she's going to be testifying from scratch as well?
Okay, Nompu, if I can just explain what's happening outside the Port Elizabeth High Court. There's a large contingency of police that have cordoned off the road, right? So we have the two political parties on the right-hand side of the road, and on the far left, if Natasha can just show you there, we have the Timothy Omotoso Jesus Dominion International members on the other side of the road, and they have also been cordoned off by police, and that's just to make sure that the two factions don't clash. We've seen in numerous other, court cases at the Magistrates Court and at the High Court that the two groups have actually clashed in previous times. So this is just a precautionary measure so that nothing happens. Jesus Dominion International Church members have been out since 7 o'clock this morning, picketing, hoisting placards, calling for the man of God, Timothy Omotoso, or who they believe is the man of God, to be released out on bail, saying that he could not have committed these crimes, and really standing steadfast in affirming their support for him.
Okay, Jayed-Leigh. And as for Cheryl Zondi, she's also going to be testifying anew, is that right?
Yes, since the case is now de novo, which means it will start afresh or start anew, Cheryl Zondi will be called back to the stand. I was talking to some of the lawyers here outside of the Port Elizabeth High Court, and they were saying that she doesn't necessarily have to be the first one to actually take the stand again. There can be other witnesses, but she will have to go through that harrowing evidence and that ordeal once again from the beginning, giving her testimony.
Jayed-Leigh, thank you very much for that report, and Natasha, great camera work there.